donate their eggs in a bid to help other women become mums. Now, the number of women freezing their eggs has doubled since 2013, but despite that, there's still a need for more.
Well, one Leicestershire woman's done just that, and she's not just donated, but she's recorded her experience as well. I'd like to say that Charlotte Bourner joins us in the studio now. Charlotte, morning to you. I mean, let's hear about your story. You know, you're a mother, you run a fashion line. You're a busy lady, aren't you?
I am a busy lady, but that's, you know, I like to be busy. It keeps me going.
So, tell me, why did you decide to donate your eggs?
Right, so, people who know me, like, one of my things on top of my bucket list is to be a surrogate for someone. I've got 2 beautiful kids of my own, and what greater gift can you give someone else than, you know, to give people who can't manage to do it themselves, you know, that little helping hand, by helping them have their own kids. So surrogacy is up there, and I kept hearing on the radio adverts for, you know, these places crying out for egg donors, and I was like, well, you know what, for me that's like a stepping stone for surrogacy. So I looked into it. I was like, yeah, I can manage that. Why not? There we go. Yeah,
why not?
It went from there.
So, tell me through the process of it. I mean, for my ignorance here, I don't even begin to imagine how this all works. Talk me through the process. Is it a long process?
Right, so, I mean, it's been ongoing because you've got forms to sign, you have to have, you know, different processes you go through, but the actual harvesting of the eggs or whatever, you know, it's a monthly cycle. It's, you know, your woman's monthly cycle. That's about it. So it's literally nothing out of your life.
I don't quite know where to start, because you say it's nothing out of your life, but this isn't like sort of donating a thing. This is your genetic material.
Yes.
This is you are handing your DNA, your part of what makes you to someone else. So a part of you is going to be carried by somebody else. So it's more than just handing over, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
it is a big thing, but in my head, because I'm so used to got my head around doing this surrogacy thing, it's a completely different mindset. You know, from the beginning, you know that's not your baby. And I always joke to my friends calling it rent-a-womb, you know. But
this is the thing, you've recorded your entire journey, you know, you've put this up on YouTube. It's very emotional, isn't it? You discuss everything very openly
and it's
honestly.
It's very raw as well, because, you know, you hear about egg donation, nobody really knows what it is. So I wanted to do a real raw, stripped back, my personal journey of what it is. So, because I'm a normal woman, you know, so any other normal woman will look at it and go, oh, well, actually, you know what? It's all right saying a doctor, oh, yes, please, can you come and donate your eggs? And you think, oh, God, what's this going to entail? But if you've seen someone else go through the same thing, then it's a bit more personal.
It's also your family needs to be involved in this to a certain extent as well,
yes.
doesn't it? Because your children, your own children, will effectively be having half siblings in a way. Because there's a genetic link, isn't there, between them and children that may be born eventually from a woman who has received your egg. So is that something that has to be considered when you're going through this process and considering this process?
Yes, definitely. Well, my kids, I've got a son who's 1.5 and my daughter's just turned 9. And I'm very honest and open with my kids. And I took, obviously, Fox is my little boy. He's very young. But Brooke, my eldest, you know, she's very forward as well. She's very bright. And I sit down and tell everything with her, and I've explained it, and she, you know, she thinks it's an amazing thing, and she understands the whole process. And we've even talked about me being a surrogate as well. You know, it's just one of those, we've got that very open relationship, and she's, you know, she thinks I'm amazing, which is, what else do you want from your daughter to think you're Superwoman, you know?
How important is that, you know, inspiring the next generation? Because in the news today, we've heard so much about it, that there aren't enough egg donors. There isn't enough that's being done. You know, we're talking to your daughter about it openly. You know, are you hoping that this will then inspire to keep people, you know, to keep this in the news, to keep this moving forward?
Absolutely, that is the whole reason I've done this video, to encourage people, because we do need egg donors. We really do. So, you know, please look into it. If it's something that you can do, please look into it. There's clinics all over. We've got Leicester Fertility, which I've spoke to the lovely women there before. That's not where I had mine done, but, you know, sure, it's the same process.
It is. it is a medical process, though, isn't it? That
Yes.
that involves stimulating your ovaries to produce eggs, to make sure that there are enough eggs so that they can be
Yes.
useful and harvested easily. And for some people, that could be quite painful. It might be uncomfortable. It's fairly intrusive, isn't it, at that early stage? So are you given lots and lots of advice about what to expect to go through this?
Yes, I was. They did sort of explain the side effects and what could happen and all this and all that, but I don't think I was really that prepared to what it is. And again, that's another reason why I wanted to do a video to show everyone what I went through. And it really isn't that bad. Yes, you get bloated, your tummy is big and it's uncomfortable, but it's nothing like being, constipated. That's the same sort of thing. You're bloated. It's not that bad.
Are you told if a woman becomes pregnant with one of your eggs?
Yes, and when I donated, they have told me that the lady is now pregnant, so I'm super, super happy for her.
What does that mean to you? Because in this video, I'd urge anyone to watch it, because in the video there are times where you've recorded yourself and you're in bed and you're like, I'm feeling rubbish, I feel terrible, and there's all there's this lovely terminology that you'll have to watch the video to say, because it's entertaining. You make it real, you make it accessible. What does it mean going through all of that and then knowing that you've given this gift to another lady?
It's just amazing. I feel so proud of myself and so happy for that other woman. I mean, when I got the phone call from the clinic, I was in New Look at the time looking for shoes because I had an event. I was looking for shoes, and there I was with my son, and I was jumping around New Look in the shoe department, going crazy, and everyone was looking at me. I had some tears coming down, I was so super excited, but in that moment I didn't care where I was and who was around. I was just so beaming and just went crazy.
And are you curious, because you know that this baby is growing, that comprises half of it is your genetic material. Do you ever think it could look like me? Or I'm just, having had 2 children myself, I'm just absolutely fascinated by this, because I don't know if I could do it. I'm being really honest here. I don't think I honestly could. I don't think I could hand over my genetic material to somebody else. So I'm intrigued talking to you that there must be an element of you now imagining what this child could look like, and are you can you separate any emotional need to know about this baby?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, I don't know if this is for everyone, but for me, I don't see it as my child. I see it as I've helped someone else have a child. So I'm not, that's my child's sibling, or that's part of my... It's not, to me, that's not my child. That's the lady on whoever else, that's their child. I've just helped them along their journey.
Wow, it's very generous of Stuart.
I just think you're brilliant.
Keep it coming.
I just know I couldn't do it. It's really, isn't it weird? It's because it's one of those, and maybe this is why there's the shortage, because it's a big emotional decision, isn't it?
Yes, and you do have to speak to a psychiatric nurse, and they go through all the process, and it's not something that everyone can do, and I appreciate that. For me, it was really easy. It was nothing for me, it's one of those things I really wanted to do, but I understand that it is a big ask for a lot of people.
I think this is interesting because you obviously being a mother, Jo, you're a mum as well, Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
I'm not a father, and I hope in the next year or so me and my wife will, maybe start having a little family of our own. But it's interesting because the way I come from it, I think to myself, I hope, I've got my fingers crossed that we will be able to conceive and we will be able to have a baby. But isn't the world just a little bit of a better place with people like you in it, Charlotte? That where, this egg donation is available, that there are, these options available to people that can't conceive. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. It's just something that I dare say some people take for granted, but if you wanted to start a family, all of the help on offer that you can get, yeah, it's just great. I just think, all credit to it. How can people get the late... Because they've got to watch this video today. It will make your Friday just that little bit of a better place. How can people get more information on that video, watch it, and more about what you do as well?
Right, so my video is on YouTube, and it's Bizzle Bourner's egg donation... something or other. But if you search for that, it will come up. So Bizzle Bourner, Bizzle Bourner. I'm sure we can put a link or something, or
yeah, I can tweet it. Jo
there we
tweet
go.
it. We'll get it up there.
It's really good.
Have a look, and you know, if you want to ask me some questions, if you want to meet up for a coffee, get in touch. I'm more than happy.
Good stuff. Thank you for coming in.
Thank
It's
you.
A totally different aspect of a story which is very contentious, but there's an attitude I haven't heard for a very long time. It's 8:15. You are listening to Breakfast on BBC Radio